Hi, and welcome to this presentation on the latest research and breakthroughs related to diabetes. Diabetes is the number 3 killer in America, and it is estimated that 1 in 20 people are diabetic, although many are unaware, at least initially, that they have the disease. Early warning signs include excessive weight, excessive thirst, fatigue, rapid changes in vision, frequent urination, and slow wound healing. It is the leading cause of blindness, non-traumatic amputations, and kidney disease. Genetics, autoimmune reactions, and diet have all been implicated as causes of diabetes. Diabetes is a disease caused by a defect in the body's ability to handle glucose. Glucose is a saccharide or simple sugar that is obtained from the food we eat and is the main source of energy for our body. The use of glucose is controlled by a hormone called insulin. When glucose becomes elevated in the blood after digestion, the pancreas is stimulated to produce insulin. The insulin literally sweeps the blood of the sugar and delivers it to cells in need of energy. The insulin acts as a mailman delivering a package to the cell. The cells take what they need to produce ATP or energy, and the rest of the glucose is stored in the form of glycogen or fat. The inability to handle this transportation of glucose leads to diabetes. There are 2 major forms of the disease. In type 1 diabetes, the body is unable to produce the insulin it needs to deliver glucose to needy cells. This results in cells that are starved of glucose and therefore deficient in energy, and blood that contains too much glucose. Both of these problems can result in severe body dysfunction. It is believed that an overreaction to a virus results in immune cells attacking and destroying pancreatic cells. Once these cells are overwhelmed, they no longer produce insulin. Without natural insulin, the only way to control the levels of glucose is close monitoring of food intake and daily insulin injections. Since an apparent miscommunication causes the attack on healthy pancreas cells, it is imperative to understand the role that cellular communication plays in preventing diabetes. Cells communicate via a braille-like system of 8 glyconutrients or monosaccharides. When even one of these sugars is missing, the result is comparable to us losing 1 or more letters of our alphabet, and the results are a communication breakdown. If our immune system is equipped with the full arsenal of 8 sugars, a miscommunication with healthy tissue is less likely. We will go into this in more detail in a later presentation. A recent study conducted in Holland, released in the journal Transplantation, showed how a healthy immune system, buffeted with glyconutrients, prevented a type 1 diabetic autoimmune response. But for those who already suffer with the disease, there is hope as well. Besides halting the autoimmune response that is responsible for killing pancreatic cells, 2 separate studies have shown that supplemented glyconutrients have a stimulating effect on the pancreatic cells, resulting in insulin secretion. These studies were released in the Handbook of Experimental Pharmacology and the journal Metabolism, Clinical and Experimental. These stimulating effects were seen in action in a test group that participated in a clinical trial released in the Proceedings of the Fisher Institute for Medical Research. In this trial, 32 type 1 diabetics were issued glyconutritional supplementation of all 8 essential sugars or saccharides. 15 of the subjects were able to significantly reduce or stop taking insulin injections, while all of the subjects reported a dramatic improvement in their health, wound healing, infections, blood pressure, and vision problems. This last problem is one of the worst results of diabetes, as blindness due to cataract formation can be the result. When glucose is too abundant, an enzyme in the eye converts the sugar to a chemical called sorbitol. This chemical is the main culprit in cataracts. 2 studies, one released in the journal Experimental Eye Research and one being conducted at Harvard University, indicate that another of the essential saccharides, mannose, has the ability to fill the role of glucose without the production of the damaging chemical. These studies show hope not just for cataract prevention, but cataract reversal as well. In type 2 diabetes, there is no lack of insulin, but it seems the cells do not recognize the insulin and accept its package of glucose. The cell receptor that the insulin binds to is a glycoprotein, which is a protein stem with a head of 8 sugars. If the essential saccharides are not available, an incomplete glycoprotein can result and miscommunication can follow. In a small study of 5 type 2 diabetics, glucose levels were reduced from a mean 273 to 151 with the addition of the glyconutrients to the diet. This was the result of cells beginning to accept glucose from the insulin and was released in the journal Hormone Research. In a larger study released in the journal Phytomedicine, 72 patients were issued either a placebo or 1 tablespoon of glyconutrients along with their oral diabetes drug. In the control group issued the placebo, the blood glucose levels 42 days later remained 289, while the test group issued the glyconutrients had a reduction from 288 to 148. As an added benefit, the test group saw a drop in blood triglycerides from 264 to 128 as compared with the control group that actually saw an increase from 222 to 233. These are a small sampling of the many research studies completed or underway that show promise for glyconutritional supplementation in diabetes. Also, check your local bookstore or library for the books Miracle Sugars, Sugars That Heal, and The Missing Link, as they all have excellent sections describing the benefits of glyconutritional supplementation with regards to diabetes. Science is making large strides in overcoming the number 3 killer in America, and glycobiology is at the forefront of the research. Supplementation of the essential 8 saccharides does not cure diabetes, but supplying the body with the missing ingredients lets the body fight its battles fully armed. Thanks and good health.